There's a second grade teacher who has some sort of queer identity, and she just posted a really amazing story. Her entire second grade class just came out to her as transgender.
Okay, so it took a couple of days for me to make this TikTok without crying, because that's what I do. Please ignore the dog bone crunching behind me. Anyhow, one of my students felt safe enough to share his pronouns with me. And when he did so, once the class knew that I knew, they all switched pronouns. They're second graders. Like, I'm torn between being really, really happy to be a safe space and just absolutely furious that an entire group of second graders has to keep this secret from not safe people. Why are kids feeling unsafe? And furthermore, why does everyone talk about how are the kids going to understand? The kids understand it. It's easy for them. It's the adults who have all of the frigging issues and hang-ups and bullshit. Kids are fine.
So this woman said one true thing in that statement when she said it's the adults who have the hang-ups and the issues. Yes. One adult in particular in this situation has a lot of hang-ups and issues and is very confused about her sex and the relationship that she's supposed to have to students, to little kids who are not her kids, and the relationship that those kids are supposed to have to their parents, who she derides as unsafe people. Does this woman seriously believe that her entire class of second graders, what is a second grader? 7 years old? If you're 5 years old in kindergarten, you're 7 years old. An entire class of 7-year-olds. All of them were born in the wrong body. All of them, 100% of 7-year-olds who look like boys, they're actually secretly girls, and the ones who look like girls are actually secretly boys. And do you think that's the explanation? Or do you think they just have a weirdo teacher who is confusing them? Which do you think it is? Obviously, I mean, none of you, if you're listening to this show, you definitely have some common sense. You know what the answer is. I don't know what that woman believes. It's hard for me to believe that she could be so stupid as to think that an entire class of 7-year-olds just happens to all have this very, very rare psychological condition. This sexual delusion where you think you're the opposite sex. She must know. She must realize that what she's doing is pushing a radical sexual agenda. That really is a cult. It is a weird Gnostic religious movement that makes very outlandish claims about human nature and who we are and the relationship that the soul has to the body. And like all cults, tells kids to cut off their parents. Tells people to cut out their family. Your family is awful. Your family, they're trying to harm you. They're not as enlightened as we are. Just talk to us. Talk to us about your sexuality, kids. And that's the other thing about cults is they always have a weird sexual component. 99 times out of 100, that cult leader is getting frisky with the ladies in the cult. It's so strange how all these prophets, all these modern day prophets and religious leaders and cult leaders, how they always seem to have how they're always getting messages from beyond this realm to sleep with all the ladies. Isn't that kind of weird? And you're getting a similar effect here with these groomers. It's just a cult. And the question is, do you, in the name of equality and tolerance and open-mindedness and liberality, need to tolerate a publicly funded institution to which you send your children to send them into a cult? A weird, creepy sex cult that teaches them to hate their parents and to disbelieve reality and to hate their own bodies.